At the baseball winter meetings with former Oriole and MLB Network analyst Harold Reynolds. Just finished his Hot Stove show. MLB Network will be here with live coverage throughout the week. What a fun show. You and Matt, you crack on Ken Rosenthal. You guys have any fun on that show, Harold?
Oh, so much fun. It really is. You know, the beauty of it is it's unrehearsed. It's just our personalities. We let it fly, and we just make baseball fun. Baseball's supposed to be fun, right? You know, you love it. I love it. People at home love it. And so that's what we try to deliver on the show.
Let's talk Orioles. Chris Davis, we know the Orioles are trying to get him. What kind of contract do you think he can get? And are you guys hearing anything about what his market looks like right now?
Well, he's going to be one of those players that the demand is going to be there because of the power. I think he helped himself last year, getting hot towards the end of the year. And he's put together a nice run to free agency. So that's going to be there. The numbers, I'm not sure what position players are getting right now. Obviously, the top-tier pitcher, yeah, you're going to get $200 million. But the top-tier position player, this isn't Alex Rodriguez at $250, Albert Pujols at $250 million, or even Robinson Cano at $240 million. It's going to slot down. So I think we got to see what happens with Justin Upton, Jason Hayward, Alex Gordon. The market to start to set, and then we'll be able to see where Chris Davis falls in. For now, I'm not sure.
It seemed like Trumbo was a good fallback plan for the Orioles. If they decide they can't wait on Chris Davis, they have a first baseman if that's the way it goes. What do you think of him as a player?
I've always liked Mark Trumbo. I think he got typecast or miscast, I should say, when he went to the National League. He had to play in the outfield. He's not an outfielder. And then in Anaheim, when he was just starting to play well, the last full season he really played first base. He put up big numbers, and then they signed Pujols. So he's been a guy that's really had the journey of the last 3 years that's kind of thrown off what I think he's capable of doing. But if they settle in Baltimore and say, you're our first baseman, this is where you're going to be, take the pressure off of trying to learn a defensive position and let him hit, he's a guy who's going to hit you 40 home runs.
You know, there's a lot of good brain trust, if you will, manager-GM combos in baseball. How do you rate Buck Showalter, Dan Duquette?
Oh, it's great. You know, it's the most important relationship, I think, in all of sports, is that general manager and field manager. They get along great, it seems like, and they've done a nice job with not much to work with. And to me, that's the sign of a good organization. You know, it's easy to go out and buy players if you have the money to do it. And it's another thing to say, all right, we got to get creative and create with the be competitive with these big money teams. So when you're looking at the Yankees and the Red Sox every year spending money and you got to compete with them, that's why I respect Tampa, Baltimore, and those guys so much, because it's not even having to deal with the American League West or the American League Central. You're dealing with the East. Right. And so that's a very difficult division to be competitive in, and they've done a nice job.
Starting rotation, so good when they won the division 2 years ago, not as good last year. Right. They're looking to add to that. How about the core? Tillman, Gonzalez, Jimenez is there, and Gausman. Those four, are they good enough if they get a decent addition or two?
If they get a decent addition or two, Gausman's got to step up to another level this year and be consistent. And I could use that word with their whole rotation. They have to be more consistent. And if they do, it's almost like watching that team that can't make a mistake. You don't make a mistake, we'll win. We make a mistake, we're going to lose. And that's kind of how I view the Orioles starting rotation. They almost have to be perfect and maxed out right now, because they don't have that Kershaw or that Greinke or somebody to fall back on that's that ace that says, we'll pick you up, boys. So they all have to do their part.
Well, Harold, a lot of coverage coming from MLB Network this week. Have some fun. Make sure you don't get lost going to your room like the rest of us have about 10 times, and enjoy your show and your coverage. Thanks, Harold.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me on. Thank you very much.
Former Oriole Harold Reynolds, MLB Network analyst, with us here at the winter meetings on MASNsports.com.